Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about rivers in Minecraft. They're a biome I'm sure everyone's familiar with because they are one of the most common biomes in the game. They exist between other biomes and they kind of cause this giant chasm between the part of the biome you're in and the part of the biome you want to be in, so you have to do this really slow way to cross them, and honestly they're quite annoying. I mean, every now and then you find chickens or squid or clay in them, but besides that, most people just find them as an annoyance. But what if I was to tell you there's actually a lot of fun to be had in the rivers and there's lots of fun stuff you can do with it, and I figured why not show you 5 little secret uses for the river in today's video. That's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully you all do enjoy it, like the video if you do, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you do like finding uses for, again, one of the most common Minecraft biomes that most people just look at, roll their eyes at, and then kind of avoid. So yeah, with that said, let's get straight into the very first secret use for rivers, and honestly, my favorite one is probably the secret kind of base aspect to them, because most people aren't looking very closely at rivers at all, because you can't see down to the bottom of the river. All you can see there is a vaguely blue sea, like maybe you could tell if it was sand or dirt, but from up here, you can barely tell anything about that. So even if I have a really big mistake, which I do, where I've got a little bit of lighting showing from my base, you can actually just about see it over there, right? Unless you're paying really close attention, even then, even with like the biggest mistake you can make, you can still see, like pretty much nothing, and you're not going to be able to work out where a base is. So just, 4 blocks below the surface, you can have a trapdoor, and you can have your entire secret underground base, or just have your normal house be underwater. It's a really fun type of house to build, and it's a really secret entrance to it that most people just aren't anticipating, that you can use if you want to build a different type of house, or you can use it if you want to have a really secret house, because again, in this particular case, as you can see, it's just a normal house with some normal chests, but they're extra well hidden, and yeah, as you can see, this is also my second room with even more hidden chests. So yeah, just a pro tip right there, have an underwater, have an under river house, I should say, and you can just, I guess, hide your stuff that little bit better, because again, bear in mind, the big mistake here is light comes out through it. I shouldn't have made that like that, but even when you can see through it from the top, you can barely see it from every other side, and you have to be paying really close attention to even notice anything, as opposed to a surface house where it's very clear, and as opposed to a cave house where you can see the door, there's nothing showing there unless you're really looking at the river, which is pretty wonderful. Anyway, let's talk about the second secret use for the rivers, which is actually, so it abuses the rendering glitch, which still exists in Minecraft console at least, where basically you can see water through, you can't see water through water, you can't see stained glass through stained glass, a few things like that, and it means that if you look at water through water, or water through ice I think it is, I don't think stained glass works like that, but if you actually look through water, you can see right the way through the water. One, you could find secret bases like this, like you can see, actually you still can't see it very well, but you can look through and see, secret stuff like that, but you can also find where all the clay is. You can see there's a giant vein of what looks like clay over there. It's something different at least. You can find all the veins of clay like this. Oh, there's clay just over there. It's not very obvious when you look on the surface, but when you look through water, you can see everything clearly. If you really want gravel, guess what? We found a patch over there. Do you really want anything? You can find where the patches of stuff are, and you can find where squid are, otherwise kind of hidden. I mean, that one's not, but the second one is, right? You can find them just like this, because it makes the water disappear. So boom, rivers are a good source of clay, technically gravel, although I'm not going to recommend that, and also of squid, and you can find them easy by using this rendering glitch. So let's move on to the third use for rivers, which honestly, given how often they spawn in Minecraft console worlds, is a really clever one if you want to get around the world, but you want to do it a bit easier. Instead of having like, the elytra and fireworks, which is, a fun way to get around, but not necessarily useful for everyone because it requires so much preparation, why not just instead link up all of your rivers? Because every world has a bunch of rivers, waterways, stuff like that. All you have to do is link them up with simple tunnels like this. This is what I've done. The river ended over there, so I mined all these blocks out, and it takes me to this little pond over here. Then I break these last few blocks, connect up the 2 water supplies, and oh, now I can ride a boat straight from the end of that river all the way to over here. But it doesn't just stop there. If I connect another one of these, so again, here's another waterway I dug, it literally just takes, like a solid 15-20 minutes between each one, where you just dig it all out and you replace it with water, and then suddenly you can have, just like that. Oh, we've connected a pond to 2 rivers, and now we've got a way to go from one giant edge of the world. I think, yeah, it goes all the way to one edge of the world, all the way to the other if you follow it on the map. That's pretty nuts if you ask me, and it's something you can do by just, again, mining the blocks in between rivers and making a waterway. A waterway is one of the most effective ways across your world, especially given how much they improved boats recently, and it's something you should probably know about. So let's move on to the fourth little secret for rivers, and this one's one of my favorite ones that I did actually spot on the Reddit. Let me just quickly give credit right there. And the idea behind this one is that, so we're going to fly over there because it's not connected up to the system, because it actually involves stopping the river. So as you can see right here, I have a river, or I made this river myself. You might not be able to tell, but I made this river myself. I think it's kind of nice. But yeah, basically we've got a river which was this big, let's pretend it was, and we've actually blocked it off using this big series of chests, and we've made it into a dam. So these chests is this chest system is one of the favorite ways to make a dam, because you can see the water through it, and I know there's just something really charming about that. But even if you don't want to do it like this, any form of dam where you let some amount of water through and some not, just looks really good in my opinion. Like, I know there's just something really great something about that. Like, I've controlled nature in the way, and there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either make the river artificially on one side, or you can drain it on the other, but either way you do it, it's going to look pretty great when it's done, and it's going to be just a feat of engineering. Also, if you're, draining water, or you're getting sand, or you're getting anything like that, you can use these chests to just store it. And again, it's a multi-purpose thing. It's a dam that functions as all the storage you'll ever need, and I love that sort of stuff, and maybe you do too. So yeah, this is the fourth use for it. Having a dam, I really love the way this works. And in case you're curious, like, no way, this is fake Toycat. This looks like a normal river to me. I mean, it doesn't look perfectly normal, there's a few mistakes. Then just kind of show what happens on the other side after I stop doing it. Over here is what happens when it falls down. So yeah, there you go. That's how you make a fake river. Just place lots of blocks below it, then remove the blocks, and then suddenly everything looks all real and stuff. So let's move on to the final secret thing you can do with rivers, which again is for these high rivers mostly, because the thing about river generation in Minecraft is it generates these giant chasms, if you've got a high biome anyway. Well, as you can see, even though the river generated all the way down there, you've got to climb all the way down like this, then go through it, and then climb up on the other side. What if there was nothing like that? So I'm sure everyone's had the idea of like, why don't we bridge across the river, because it saves some time. So you place your dirt blocks, in this case only 5, but we place all our blocks all the way across the river. That's kind of a fun idea, but what if you didn't make it just a bridge, you made it the entire thing? So you might have spotted this on the way here, but as you can see, this is this is just a nice little flatland, right? I mean, you can work out what it is because I just said it, but if you weren't trying to work out, you might just think this is like, oh yeah, I flattened an area, right? But what this actually is this is artificially placed dirt over a river, and it means that what looks like, just the end of a river, or we could even, I reckon if we place some water here, it'd look like the start of a river, like a waterfall. Isn't that wonderful? So this is the start of our river. As you can see, it's a lovely little waterfall, but what it really is it starts covering up the old river and kind of having this secret little area that you can do anything you want with. Again, either like a secret little base, or you can do anything like that. And I think realistically, this is kind of like the secret base from the start of the video, the one under the water, but instead of doing it like that, you can actually do, so as you can see, instead of doing it like that, we actually have this secret, just entire river to ourselves. So we're keeping the river hidden secret, which is fun, but we also just have this giant area no one even knows exists that I think will blow some people's minds when they find out about it. And I just think it's one of these really great ideas because it's a really fun project to do. It's not a hard project to do, and when it's done, you just get this kind of like, oh yeah, I made a thing happen and I hid the river. And again, it feels very like, RPG-esque, and I just figured for that reason it might be something that you'd look into. So yeah, this is what the fifth secret use for rivers. Cover them up, like hide them, and then use the underground for either secret buildings or just use them because you can, raise the height of the river. Again, I really love the waterfall effect that you can have right here. If you just naturally sculpt rivers to your own, kind of extent, you'll realize that the Minecraft rivers are actually quite ugly. This is a really ugly river that's just over there, as you can see. By the way, pro tip, instead of looking through water to see through the ground, you can also just, use a night vision potion. Has the same effect as you can see here. But yeah, basically, being able to sculpt the river yourself, you can make much more natural rivers, you can make much more beautiful rivers, and I think these 2 points right here, I mean, maybe I just love them, maybe it's just me, but I think they both look way better than any river in Minecraft, and they show that, this is just me. I'm Toycat. I just goof around with blocks in my spare time. If you spend, like, some real, time thinking how to sculpt a river, you can do some really amazing stuff, and I figured for that reason, it would be worth sharing some stuff. As you can see, I sculpted a high river here, I hid a river over there, turned it into waterfall, and this is just stuff I did within a few hours last night, and maybe you have better ideas and you're like, yeah, I'd love to do that. Well, that's what today's video was kind of inspire you to do. So I hope you did all enjoy it. I hope it did inspire you in some way. Like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like these sorts of videos. Share the video if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching. If you want this exact seed, it was in a Seed Sunday, maybe like 3 months back. That's not useful at all, but like if you scroll back on the channel enough, you might be able to find this exact seed. And again, I said at the time, like, I'd really love to do some of these rivers, and I figured, like last night, like, why not just go ahead and do that? So that's what I did, and I figured you might enjoy seeing it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.